Good evening, kaiju fans. Your Dark Lord Valenquill has returned from oblivion once again to tell you why I believe the Return of Godzilla is worth your time, and a brief history of the horrors this film faced. After a much-needed return to form, Godzilla was on hiatus for 10 years due to the failure of Terror of Mechagodzilla. Godzilla returns to its horror roots, doing away with the campiness of the Showa era, focusing on a strong grounded message of the Cold War and the horror this one calamity brings, and how Japan is caught in the crossfire of three titans: Russia, America, and Godzilla. It wasn't until 2016 that we could see the unaltered version of Return of Godzilla. Instead, we received Godzilla 1985, a heavily altered version of the original, which turns the film into a comedy, diminishing the tragedy. Fearing that American audiences wouldn't understand some of the references, and changing a key scene where Russian officer Kashirin attempts to stop the launch of the nuke, but ultimately perishes. In the US release, the footage was altered, showing him intentionally launching the nuke. Anthony Randall of New World Pictures said that it was meant as a joke and had nothing to do with the company's politics. The scenes that have the most substance in Godzilla 1985 are with Raymond Burr because he actually respected the source material. However, New World Pictures did not share the same sentiment. I believe strongly this is why Toho is very strict with their IP, and can you blame them? New World Pictures wanted to turn the film into a tongue-in-cheek comedy with Leslie Nielsen. Raymond Burr fought to keep the dark elements of Godzilla, and objected to the comedy that was added. It took 32 years for the Return of Godzilla to reach the shores of the United States. 32 years. Film is completely different from 1985, and scenes that were once cut can now be viewed in their entirety. You can understand why some changes were made. The train scene is a perfect example. It drags and is not as impactful as the same scene in 1954. However, the addition of the military scenes at the Pentagon in Godzilla 1985 feels out of place and not necessary. One and only thing I will give credit to 1985 for is Raymond Burr's final speech. Lisa Tomei, who wrote the script for Godzilla 1985, may not have delivered a flawless localization, but she did deliver an impeccable speech that delivers the perfect definition of what Godzilla truly is: a force of nature.
Nature has a way sometimes of reminding man of just how small he is. She occasionally throws up the terrible offsprings of our pride and carelessness to remind us of how puny we really are in the face of a tornado, an earthquake, or a Godzilla. Reckless ambitions of man are often dwarfed by their dangerous consequences. Now, Godzilla, that strangely innocent and tragic monster, has gone to Earth. Whether he returns or not, or is never again seen by human eyes, the things he has taught us remain.
This iteration of Godzilla is almost demonic looking and does not care, and there are times where you wonder, is this Godzilla evil? He drops a building on Super X and then looks into the camera with eyes that pierce the soul, surrounded by inferno, basking in the destruction it caused. Unlike Shin Godzilla, you see people being trampled, soldiers getting wounded. You see firsthand the catastrophe this horrifying creature brings. A legacy sequel that delivers what it promises, serving as a direct sequel to the original 1954 film and ignoring all the past Showa films that followed after. Focusing on a darker tone, recapturing the essence of what made the original 1954 film terrifying. One of my favorite Godzilla films that I highly recommend. I give it 4 stars. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the Return of Godzilla. Did you like 1985 more? Also, if you like this video, check out my deep analysis of the Return of Godzilla, which is a companion piece. And I hope that you will all join the madness.